I am more interested on where Prydwen is putting Velvet. That is more interesting. Yeah. Bossing, we don't care about anything else. Story, don't care. PvP, I'll do PvP. Bossing, where is the new wife? A. That seems a little bit low. That seems a little bit low. What's going on here? Like, there is no way you can see Rosanna overall for bossing use more than Velvet, in my opinion. Nah. Okay, let's see why. Let's see why, okay? Let's see what's going on here. Let's go into the review. We will skip this whole thing. Let's go into the pros cons. We'll go into the investment tips as well, and then we'll see what's going on. But yeah, I don't agree. I think it's kind of low. Let me put myself on the left, which is my side. Okay, there we go. And let's see what's going on here. Let's go just to the pros cons. Once again, I love that you guys are writing this. I'm a lazy bitch. I like this part right here. Pros for Velvet. Tier A in bossing and for campaign. Okay, okay. Interesting, I guess. Makes the win team great even more and saves Crown from other teams in Union Raid. Two distinct paths, support and DPS. Apart from our generalist build, she can be built in two different ways for two different specializations. Yeah, I wouldn't recommend building her as a DPS almost like under any circumstances. I feel she's gonna be like an off-burst character almost always, right? Almost always. But you can if you want it. Brings a new mechanic, ammo expand that might be useful in the future. For now, it's strong for Little Mermaid Siren. Can be a decent off-burst buffer with the right units, especially if they benefit from charge damage. I think that's the only thing she's a great off-burst buffer. But not decent, like a great one. Automatically, no? By the way, speaking of burst, I added the new flag into the tier list if you guys didn't see it. So if you see this icon on top of the character, that's for off burst. You can just put your mouse on top. We added this for a few characters, not only for Velvet, mostly for the elemental girls like your Maiden, like your Alex, Solene now, Modernia, things like that. But we added that flag, so it's easy to see what characters are off burst on most situations, right? On most situations. Good in Tetra Tower, cheap as support, only needs a skill 2 and overload unless you optimize your lines. Infinite ammo, machine gun be do without all is a first. Despite not giving buffs on burst, newer players who don't have access to overload and hence their machine gun DPS are inadequate. No max ammo to use her infinite ammo to break glasses or eliminate fire enemies. And then you should pull for two big reasons. Agree? Now let's see the cons and as to why I assume they are putting her on A and not any higher. Charge damage doesn't work on everybody. That is true, but we don't care that much for the charge damage, no? When you are getting also the attack buff. That's like one of the best things that she's providing. She's giving this nice attack, she's giving this charge damage, both of things. Also, most of the meta damage dealers nowadays are snipers and rocket launchers, like most of them. There are a few that are not, so I don't think that's like a con per se, right? At least nowadays. Obviously, that will change as the meta changes too, but at the moment, it's not a problem. Outside of Wind Week, she might struggle to find a place from competing with Ada, Helm Treasure, Maxwell, and other off-burst buffers that might have better synergy. For Ada and Helm, yeah, sure. For Maxwell, though, Maxwell is a raid character, nothing else. Like, I highly doubt you're bringing Maxwell anywhere else. At least nowadays. Outside of, like, solo raid, and for specific team compositions only, I don't think you will be bringing her for anything else. But again, her skill 1 doesn't work at the start of the match, probably booked. Her ammo still scales on bait, which means it won't affect rocket launcher sniper rifles for some reason. Shotguns still lose 1 ammo. Her kids look PvP, but she's bad at PvP. Her burst converts fake infinite ammo, so no Miranda Treasure guaranteed crit strat. That's fine, she's a support character, doesn't really matter. Two different build paths means you have to choose her specialization or settle with our generalist build. I don't think there's two paths to build her, not gonna lie. I think there is no reason to be making or trying to make her a DPS. God damn those legs. No team moves as a DPS. If you use a DPS B3 with her, they lose damage. Use support B3 to minimize damage loss and to buff her instead. forced to off burst as a support, no other flex, because she is the flex. Has sticky fingers. You don't have a girlfriend with her measurements in real life. That is facts, honestly. That would be the only actual con that we can get behind. Okay, let me see the recommendations, and then we can check again the tier list. I don't agree with where she's on the tier list, like, at all.
Really fucking mad.
Fuck you. PvE. 7, 10, 10, or 10, 10, 10. LA attack, max ammo, and charge speed for the build. And then feels crit damage, and crit rate. Resilience, Bastion, and Prydwen, what's going on with the destruction cube? I need to ask, okay? I need to ask. Every fucking character has destruction here. To me, Resilience is the only one to put, nothing else, because again, she's only gonna be a support character. No reason to be using Bastion on her, because you just lose more time. Like, even if you were to get a couple lines of ammo, you are still better off using Resilience, because it's a 2-second reload time, right? Like, her buff is a, what, 3-second duration, I believe it was? No reason to use anything else outside of Bastion, in my opinion. Her skill recommendation, I wanna check the gear investment section in the full review, because I don't agree with the 7, like a 10 10 10 7 10 10 is a fucking waste of resources for this character. This is a 1 10 1, right? maybe like if you wanted to use it as a more of a DPS, like a 7 10 7, but still it's already stretching it out, right? Like it's a 4 10 4. What is her gear? Here. Okay, let me see. As a support, Velvet wants S2 upgrades. As a DPS, Velvet will additionally want burst. Skill 1 has barely any impact, but matters to a DPS Velvet. Priority, Skill 2, burst, Skill 1. Skill 1 wants up, okay, but they don't put anything else, no? So they don't really have 2 builds recommended. They're just telling you there is only Skill 2 if you want to build it like that. 1-7, 1-10. Yeah, I don't know. Feels like a bit of a trip this time. Some of the B3s I can agree are at the same level of utility as a Velvet, right? Like, no problem. Like, if you're talking about the Eve, you're talking about some of these characters. By the way, we also moved Modernia down on our tier list 1 rank. She fucking sucks nowadays. There's like barely any reason to be using Babu, okay? I don't dislike Babu as much as I dislike Alice, but there is no reason to be using her. But I do think she's a little bit low, at least in contrast to some of the characters here for bossing. Because if Rosanna is here, right, I don't know, feels like she is a little bit too high, a little bit too low, in contrast to some of the characters in here. Because Velvet has way more utility than what Trina, Arcana, and some of the characters in here can provide. But again, nitpicking. There is not much difference from a T1 on my tier list to an A/H on this tier list. Is nitpicking. I don't know if NIKKE has already put her on a tier list or not either. NIKKE sometimes is a little bit slow, not gonna lie, when it comes to the updates. So I don't know, it doesn't seem like they have updated her at all. Let me see, let me come here. Velvet. No skills, no priority, no nothing. So can't say anything for NIKKE. When it comes to Prydwen though, I don't agree where she's at the moment. Both A's and then C for PvP. PvP I don't care, but the story and bossing seems a little bit low. But again, it's mostly nitpicking rather than anything else. That said, enough yapping. Let's actually go and do daily. So reset is in 10 minutes, so we can actually do that.